International. It's time for the news.
The President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, has left Algiers for New York in the United States to participate in the 78th Ordinary Session of the UN General Assembly. The Minister of Trade and Export Promotion, Taib Zitouni, has indicated in Tunis that the development of the border strip between Algeria and Tunisia, the promotion of bilateral trade, investment and free zones were the main issues addressed during the 5th session of the Algerian-Tunisian Joint Commission for Monitoring Trade held in the Tunisian capital. And Libyan authorities have opened an investigation into the collapse of the two dams that caused a devastating flood in the coastal city of Derna, as rescue teams are still searching for bodies nearly a week after the deluge killed more than 11,000 people. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail from Radio Algeria International. First, the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, has left Algiers for New York in the United States to participate in the 78th Ordinary Session of the UN General Assembly. The announcement was made by the Presidency of the Republic, which indicated that the President of the Republic was seen off at the Houari Boumediene International Airport by Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman, the Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, General Saïd Chingriha, and the Director of the Cabinet Office at the Presidency of the Republic, Mohamed Nadir Al-Arbawi. The Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, Kamal Badari, and the Minister of Knowledge, Economy, Startups and Micro-Enterprises, Yassin Al-Mahdi Walid, are participating as representatives of the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, at the summit of the Group of 77 plus China, which opened Friday in Havana, Cuba. A joint press release from the two ministries said that the two-day summit, held under the theme Current Development Challenges, Role of Science, Technology and Innovation, takes place in the presence of heads of state and government of the G77 plus China and with the participation of the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Participants in this meeting will discuss several themes and questions related to development, such as the role of science, technology, and innovation, and the challenges facing developing countries in achieving scientific and technological progress. The repercussions of the coronavirus pandemic, rise in food and energy prices, market disruptions, inflation, debt, climate change, geopolitical tensions, and conflicts in several regions of the world will also be discussed during the summit. The President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, has congratulated the USM Algiers team for winning the African Football Super Cup on Friday evening at the King Fahd Stadium in the Saudi city of Taif against the Egyptian team of Al Ahly with a score of 1-0 in the final of the 2023 edition. President Tebboune wrote on his Twitter account, "Congratulations to USM Algiers for winning the African Super Cup. I wish you more victories and joys, God willing." The only goal of the match was scored from the penalty spot by captain Zinedine Belid in the 43rd minute of the play. Thanks to this success, the Reds and Blacks won their second continental trophy in 2023, 3 months after their historic title in the Confederation Cup against the Tanzanian team, and became the second Algerian club to win the African Super Cup after ES Sétif in 2015, also against Al Ahly of Egypt. The Minister of Trade and Export Promotion, Taib Zitouni, has been received in Tunis by the head of the Tunisian government, Ahmed Hashani, with whom he discussed means and ways of developing bilateral relations in various areas. A press release of the Trade Ministry indicated that the meeting, which took place on the sidelines of the proceedings of the 5th session of the Algerian-Tunisian Joint Commission for Monitoring Trade Exchanges, was attended by the Tunisian Minister of Trade and Export Development, Mrs. Keltoum Ben Rajab, and the Algerian Ambassador in Tunis, Mr. Azzouz Balal. The Minister of Trade conveyed on this occasion the greetings of Prime Minister Mr. Ayman bin Abdurrahman to the head of the Tunisian government, Mr. Ahmed Hashani. Hashani hailed the fruitful and privileged cooperation relations between Tunisia and Algeria based on links of brotherhood and good neighborliness, and a strong will to establish a strategic and united partnership in serving the common interests of the two peoples, as already affirmed by the leaders of the two countries. For his part, Mr. Zitouni presented the main results of the Joint Trade Commission and the preparations for the High Commission, which will be chaired by the Algerian Prime Minister and the head of the Tunisian government. The Minister of Trade and Export Promotion, Tayyip Zitouni, has indicated in Tunis that the development of the border strip between Algeria and Tunisia, the promotion of bilateral trade, investment, and free zones were the main issues addressed during the 5th session of the Algerian-Tunisian Commission for Monitoring Trade held in the Tunisian capital. In a statement to the press at the end of the session, co-chaired with the Tunisian Minister of Trade and Export, Mrs. Kultoum Ben Rajab, Mr. Zitouni said that reports relating to these questions and others will be submitted to the High Joint Commission, which will be soon held in Algeria under the co-chairmanship of Prime Minister Ayman Ben Abdelrahman and the head of the Tunisian government, Ahmed Hashani. Civil protection teams who are actively participating in search and rescue operations in flood-hit Libyan city of Derna have removed a total of 20 dead bodies following the devastating floods caused by Storm Danielle. In a statement to the press, the Deputy Director of Statistics and Information at the General Directorate of Civil Protection, Colonel Farouk Ashour, indicated that the latest report indicates that 20 bodies were removed by the teams of the Algerian Civil Protection who are helping in Libya. Colonel Ashour specified that the search operations are continuing in collaboration with local authorities, noting that the working conditions of search and rescue teams as well as divers are complex and extremely difficult because of the mud, while entire homes have been completely buried. It's worth recalling that on the instructions of the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, Algeria has decided to send urgently significant humanitarian aid to Libya, consisting of food products, medical equipment, clothing, and tents via an airlift of 8 aircrafts belonging to the Air Forces of the People's National Army, as well as civil protection teams made up of 113 agents, all ranks and specialties combined, in solidarity with the brotherly Libyan people. President Mohammed Ould Sheikh Al Ghazouani of Mauritania has received in Nouakchott the personal envoy of the UN Secretary General to Western Sahara and head of the UN mission, Staffan de Mistura. The meeting was attended by the Mauritanian minister in charge of the President's office, Mokhtar Ould Jay, the Presidency's office, Ahmed Ould Bahini, the interim UN coordinator, Kindai Samba, as well as the head of the UN envoy's office, Michael Contat. Earlier this month, the UN announced that the UN envoy would be touring the region for consultations on the Western Sahara conflict before a report is submitted by the UN Secretary General to the UN Security Council next month. 2 days ago, the UN envoy was received here in Algiers by the Algerian Foreign Minister Ahmed Attaf, considering that both Algeria and Mauritania act as observers in the Sahrawi issue. On the occasion, the diplomacy chief reiterated Algeria's full support to the efforts made by the UN Secretary General and his envoy, which he hoped would culminate in the holding of direct and unconditional negotiations between the two parties at issue. He stressed that the objective of the negotiations was aimed at reaching a political solution that will safeguard the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination. He visited earlier the occupied Sahrawi territories before holding discussions with the two parties at issue, namely Morocco and the Polisario Front. In a communique, the foreign minister hailed the unchanged position of the UN Security Council, stating that the Western Sahara issue is an issue of decolonization and must be addressed through the implementation of the right to self-determination, considered a pillar of the UN system. In this connection, the Polisario Front to the UN, or representative to the UN, Sidi Mohamed Omar, said that the UN commitment reiterated by the UN Secretary General in favor of the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination was meant to be a clear message to the Moroccan occupation state. To the Middle East now, where the President of the State of Palestine, Mahmoud Abbas, has said that the Palestinian people is determined, with the support of the group of the 77, known as G77 plus China, to overcome the historic injustice that has hampered its aspiration and development for 1 century now. Addressing a summit meeting of the G77 plus China taking place in Havana, Cuba, he stressed that Israel's policies were aimed at consolidating its cooperation and to occupation and to impose an apartheid reality that must not be tolerated. He argued that the development issue in Palestine, contrary to the situation prevailing in the other countries in the world, is submitted to an institutional apartheid system, to an illegal occupation, and to a colonial scheme that denies the Palestinian right to development. President Abbas stressed that Israel's illegal occupation policies of the Palestinian land, the plundering of its wealth and natural resources, the punitive punishment it imposed, the restrictions on movement imposed on Palestinians were leading to the destruction of Palestine's economy. He recalled that the Palestinians were confronted for the past years to a serious economic crisis due to Israel's intransigence and illegal practices on the ground that pose a major question of morale to the international community, which has politically and economically invested in the two-state solution. President Abbas affirmed that such a status quo must cease now and an action must be taken to end Israel's occupation of the Palestinian land since 1967, including occupied Jerusalem, and help settle all issues, including the Palestinian refugees question. And Libyan authorities have opened an investigation into the collapse of the two dams that caused a devastating flood in the coastal city of Derna, as rescue teams are still searching for bodies nearly a week after the deluge killed more than 11,000 people. Libya's general prosecutor Al-Sadiq Al-Sur said prosecutors would investigate the collapse of the dams, which were built in the 70s, as well as the allocation of maintenance funds. He said prosecutors would investigate local authorities in the city as well as previous governments. 8 groups have warned of the growing risk posed by the spread of disease that could exacerbate the humanitarian situation as hopes of finding more survivors are fading. Sunday's flood submerged Derna, washing thousands of people and homes out to sea after 2 upstream dams burst under the pressure of torrential rains triggered by Storm Danielle. Conflicting death tolls have been reported, but official estimates place the overall figure at more than 11,000. This came as 8 organizations like Islamic Relief and Doctors Without Borders have warned that the upcoming period could see the spread of diseases as well as grave difficulties in delivering aid to those most in need. And finally, back to Algeria, where the first edition of the Cosmopolite Mini Festival is being held in La Corne d'Or tourist compound in the province of Tipaza, west of Algiers. A rich program is scheduled during the event, as highlighted by Safia Menacel, a co-organizer of the event.
The Cosmopolite event mini festival is on this Saturday, 16 September. It starts at 6 afternoon and has a beautiful program with the presence of Tikubawin Band, the theater of Algeria Mahidin Bashtarzi, with a beautiful pièce de théâtre. And this event is about promoting to our beautiful culture, promoting to our beautiful country, showing the beautiful touristic side of Algeria, especially in Wilaya of Tipaza. We have such amazing places in Algeria, especially in summer, and we have to discover more about them. But the thing that we didn't want to let the Algerians and the people from Algeria know and discover, we wanted to show diplomats and the embassies here in Algeria more about our beautiful country, for open the door to them to come and visit our beautiful country.
And with this, we come to the end of this news bulletin for today. Time now for a weekly program, starting with my colleague Jamal Silmani, a program devoted to innovation. It will be followed by another program on Ibn Khaldun, compiled and presented by my colleague Aziz Agassi. As for me, I'll meet you again tomorrow for a fresh edition of our news bulletin in English. Until then, stay tuned to Radio Algeria International, and bye-bye for now.
Welcome, dear listeners, to a journey through time and innovation. In today's program, Inspiring Figures, we embark on a voyage into the life of one of history's greatest inventors, a man whose brilliance illuminated the world both literally and figuratively. Imagine a world without light at the flick of a switch, or music captured in a tiny disc. It's almost unimaginable. But thanks to one man's relentless curiosity and unwavering determination, that the word is now a reality. Join us as we unravel the captivating story of Thomas Edison, the wizard of Menlo Park, and the genius who shaped the course of human history with his ingenuity and inventions. Get ready to be inspired as we dive deep into the life and legacy of the one and only Thomas Edison. Certainly, Thomas Edison's childhood and early education played a significant role in shaping him into the brilliant inventor he would become. Thomas Alva Edison was born on February 11, 1847, in Milan, Ohio, the United States. He was the youngest of 7 children in his family. Edison's family moved to Port Huron, Michigan, when he was a child. Edison's formal education was limited to several factors, including his frequent illness as a child and his mother's preference for home schooling. His mother, Nancy Edison, played a crucial role in his early education, encouraging his curiosity and love for learning. Edison's mother noticed his curiosity and provided him with books and resources to feed his hunger for knowledge. At a young age, Edison exhibited an entrepreneurial spirit. He started selling newspapers and candy on trains, showing his knack for business. His early experiences in telegraphy also sparked an interest in electrical and communication technologies. Edison's childhood and early education instilled in him a strong work ethic and a passion for self-directed learning. Despite his limited formal education, he became a self-taught genius and went on to make groundbreaking contributions to the world of science and technology. His story serves as an inspiring example of how determination and a thirst for knowledge can lead to remarkable achievements. Certainly, let's cover Edison's most famous inventions and their impact on society and technology. Thomas Edison invented the phonograph in 1877, a device that could both record and play back sound. The phonograph revolutionized the entertainment industry. It allowed people to enjoy music and speeches in the comfort of their homes, changing how people experienced and shared audio content. Edison's work on the electric light bulb culminated in the creation of a practical, long-lasting incandescent bulb in 1879. The electric light bulb made nighttime illumination accessible and safe. It transformed urban landscapes, extended working hours, and enhanced the quality of life by providing reliable indoor lighting. Edison's invention of the incandescent bulb initiated a new era in electrical engineering. It led to advancements in electrical distribution systems, such as power grids, and inspired further innovations in lighting technologies. These inventions, the phonograph and the electric light bulb, were not only technological breakthroughs but also societal game changers. They improved people's daily lives, created new industries, and set the stage for the modern age of technology and entertainment. Thomas Edison was not just an inventor. He was also an entrepreneur who knew how to turn his inventions into successful businesses. His entrepreneurial spirit played a pivotal role in his achievements. Edison recognized the commercial potential of his inventions and sought ways to monetize them. He established the Edison General Electric Company in 1887, which later merged with another company to become General Electric. This merger was instrumental in creating one of the world's largest and most influential corporations. Edison held over 1,000 patents, giving him a strong foundation for building businesses around his inventions. He understood the importance of protecting his intellectual property through patents, which allowed him to control and profit from his innovations. Edison created an innovation ecosystem at his laboratory in Menlo Park, New Jersey. He brought together talented individuals and provided them with resources to develop new ideas and inventions. This collaborative environment fostered a culture of innovation and led to numerous breakthroughs. Edison was a master at marketing his innovations. He often conducted public demonstrations to showcase his products, generating public interest and demand. He understood the value of public relations and used it to build a positive image of himself and his inventions. Edison's business interest extended beyond electricity and sound recording. He ventured into areas like cement mining and ore mining. This diversification helped him balance risks and capitalize on opportunities in various industries. Thomas Edison's ability to combine inventive genius with keen business sense allowed him to create not only groundbreaking technologies, but also thriving enterprises. His legacy as both an inventor and entrepreneur continues to inspire innovators and business leaders today. Thomas Edison's inventions have left a profound and lasting impact on modern life, and they laid the foundation for numerous technologies and industries that shape our world today. Edison's development of the practical incandescent light bulb revolutionized indoor and outdoor lighting. Modern cities and homes rely on electric lighting for safety, productivity, and comfort. Energy-efficient LED lighting, an evolution of Edison's bulb, is now widely used and has reduced energy consumption. The phonograph changed how we capture and enjoy sound, paving the way for the music industry. Modern music recording, streaming, and distribution owe their existence to Edison's pioneering work. Edison's contribution to electrical power distribution led to the development of reliable and widespread electric grids. His approach to innovation, including his Menlo Park laboratory model, encouraged collaboration and experimentation. This culture of innovation remains influential in research and development today. His extensive patent portfolio highlighted the importance of protecting intellectual property. Laws and patent systems continue to foster innovation and protect investors' rights. Thomas Edison's legacy is not only in the specific devices he created, but also in the way his work inspired generations of inventors and innovators. His inventions and the principles he embodied continue to shape the technological landscape, making him a pivotal figure in the history of innovation and modern life. As we conclude this journey through the life and legacy of Thomas Edison, I invite you, our listeners, to take a moment to reflect on the remarkable achievements of this inventor. Thomas Edison was a visionary whose innovative spirit illuminated the world both literally and figuratively. From the electric light bulb that banished darkness from our lives to the phonograph that captured the essence of sound, Edison's contributions have left an indelible mark on society and technology. His ability to turn his inventions into successful businesses and his unwavering commitment to pushing the boundaries of human knowledge continue to inspire generations of inventors, entrepreneurs, and dreamers. In a world that constantly evolves and advances, Edison's story serves as a reminder that with determination, resilience, and curiosity, we have the power to shape the future. His legacy challenges us to seek solutions to the world's problems, to foster innovation, and to believe in the boundless potential of the human mind. So as we step back into our own time, let's carry with us the spirit of Thomas Edison, the wizard of Menlo Park, and remember that the sparks of brilliance that ignited the past can still light the way to a brighter tomorrow. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey, and may you find inspiration and the remarkable achievements of this extraordinary inventor.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of Inspiring Figures. During the holy month of Ramadan, we invite you to join our special programs on prominent figures who marked the Islamic Golden Age, a period of cultural, economic, and scientific flourishing in the history of Islam, traditionally dated from the 8th to the 14th century. Today we'll shed light on a prominent historian who is regarded to be one of the brightest and most brilliant minds of the Muslim world. He contributed to many fields. Many scientists today believe that social sciences as we know it today might have never reached such high level without the help of Ibn Khaldun. He is regarded to be among the founding fathers of modern sociology, the philosophy of history, and economics. Ibn Khaldun's best work is the widely known book, the Muqaddimah, meaning the introduction, which he wrote in 1377. It was an introduction and first book to his planned work of universal history, but already in his lifetime it was viewed as an independent work on its own. Some modern thinkers think of it as the first work dealing with the philosophy of history, social sciences of sociology, demography, cultural history, and many more sciences. Ibn Khaldun starts the Muqaddimah with thorough criticism on the mistakes regularly committed by his fellow historians and the difficulties which await the historian in his work. He sums up 7 critical issues and then lays out his theory of human society in the Muqaddimah. Ibn Khaldun often criticized the uncritical acceptance of historical data. As a result, he introduced the scientific method to the social sciences, which was considered something new to his age. He often referred to it as his new science and developed his own new terminology for it. His historical method also laid the groundwork for the observation of the role of state, communication, propaganda, and systematic bias in history, leading to his development of historiography. The concept of asabiya, meaning tribalism, clanism, or in a modern context, nationalism, is one of the best known aspects of the Muqaddimah. Ibn Khaldun uses the term asabiya to describe the bond of cohesion among humans in a group-forming community. The bond asabiya exists at any level of civilization, from nomadic society to states and empires. Asabiya is most strong in the nomadic phase and decreases as civilization advances. And as this asabiya declines, another more compelling asabiya may take its place. Thus, civilizations rise and fall, and history describes these cycles of asabiya as they play out. Ibn Khaldun wrote his famous book Al-Muqaddimah in a cave near Ferenda in Tihirt, known now as Tiaret in western Algeria, at a height of more than 1,000 meters. It is said that Ibn Khaldun took refuge in the cave to have the calm and serenity necessary to write his famous multidisciplinary book. Later, several distinguished 16th and 17th century Ottoman scholars and statesmen took a keen interest in Ibn Khaldun's work, and a partial translation of the Muqaddimah into Turkish was made in the 18th century. But it was only after the 1860s, when a complete French translation of the Muqaddimah appeared, that Ibn Khaldun found the worldwide audience his incomparable genius deserved. Well, with this, we come to the end of our program, Inspiring Figures. That's it for me. Thank you for joining us.